Hi, people. Don't mind my kids in the background. They're gonna probably come up and say stuff. But since I got this done, I have not been very impressed with it. It's the FX Impact 35 cal. I've had a hard time tuning it and getting it how I need it to be. I want pretty decent shot count with at least like 140-ish foot-pounds of energy. All right. Today I'm gonna work on tuning it and getting it a little bit better. I watched something. Let me tell you first, people on YouTube and the internet are very secretive about their tunes, and I don't get it. So I'm going to tell you about my tune and see what we can come up with. I'm going to start out with putting the front reg pressure at 190, which is going to be kind of a power tune, I guess. But I'm going to put this one at 190. Right now it's at 150. And then this back one I'm gonna put at 150. Well, it's already at 150. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna get enough pressure up here to where it fills the power plenum a little bit faster, and it'll help with the shot count and all of that. And it'll get me power tuned. So right now it's running about 840 feet per second with pellets. And we're gonna see if we can't get it up to the 920 to 930. That's the whole thing with tuning, is you have to figure out what the end game is and then roll for that. This thing has so many tuning adjustments on it with the air pressure. Basically tells the gun how much air to send at one time, I guess. Then the micro and macro back here, and then you got this back reg that controls the power plenum. So let's go ahead and get this thing up to 190 bar. I'll show you that it's at 150 now. Alright, if you look inside of here, there's a little Allen key. You probably can't see it, but there's an Allen key in there. You turn it counterclockwise to raise the reg pressure. So basically you loosen it to give it more air pressure. And I think it was a 2.5 millimeter. Yeah, 2.5 millimeter. And we're gonna loosen it a little bit more than a quarter turn, probably a third of a turn, and see what that does. You wanna start off with a full tank of air, because you're gonna be doing this a few times if you can't get it right. All right, 1/3 took us that far. Now the thing is you're supposed to shoot it to balance out the reg pressure. So right now we're at 180. So I'm gonna go shoot it and I'll be right back. All right, so after shooting it, now I'm at 180, looks like 4 or 3, if you can see there. So we're gonna take it off again and turn it probably just a little bit more. All right, we're in. And this time I'm just gonna turn it just probably quarter, maybe an eighth of a turn. All right. Now, check it out. A lot of people dry fire them. I don't like the idea of dry firing it. All right, it should be pretty close now. So that is before shooting it, and I'll be right back. And that's after shooting it. Look at that, right on there. Really close, just a touch over. I think we'll be fine with that. All right, and now this back reg, I want it to be at 150. Right now it's at 140. With this one, you can actually adjust the reg pressure without taking the air off, as long as you're going up. But if you turn it down, then you have to decompress it, which means you got to make sure that the reg here is on 0 and this reg is on 0 back here before you can turn it down, the air. Before, when I did this, I always took all this stuff off here, but I watched a guy, he's like, oh yeah, you can just depress the trigger and do it. So I'm gonna try it that way. Looks like it's still a 2.5 millimeter, and I'm gonna focus here and get it just right, because I don't want to have to take the air out of it. This one, once again, to turn it up, you gotta turn it down by turning it counterclockwise. There you go, 150 exactly. Now I'm gonna shoot it to make sure it stays there. There we go, 150. All right, now to power tune, they say that you have to, 190, 150, just shy. Let's turn it just a little bit more. It's just shy of 150. That means I have two cameras watching me now. All right, now we're at 150 bar on the top. All right, so now we have to adjust. Can y'all go out of this room if you're gonna be loud, please? I don't know what she's saying, something's here. All right, this is the macro, and then this is the micro. Ooh, can't even hardly say it. So this one, you wanna adjust it all the way up to 5, because we're doing a power tune, right? And then this one, we're gonna leave on 16. This one, you're supposed to count the lines in here. If I get close enough, you could probably see it. There we go, now you can see it. But you're supposed to count these lines in here and imagine there's a 5th line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's about what it would look like. And from this point, it's just gonna take shooting. Running on the chronograph, and this one, when you adjust it all the way up to 5, it probably won't cock correctly. So let's see. Yeah, see, it's not cocking. So you adjust it down to where it'll cock and stay back comfortably. You want to be able to cock it back and have it latch really nicely. Otherwise, it could end up slipping the shear. So let's adjust that down now. So right now it's on 5. It's not cocking. Let's go to 5.5. It barely cocked. Or 4.5 is what I meant. Let's go to 4 and 4.3. Yeah, see, that time it cocked pretty good. And just to get a feel for it, let's go down all the way to 4. And then that cocked very well. But you never adjust these. Never, ever, ever adjust these with it cocked. All right, so let's take it back up to 4.3. There we go, that cocked pretty good. All right, so now we are power tuned. Oh, and I did order some Hades for this, because that's really what I want to tune for, is the Hades. I do have some JSBs, Diablos, that I want to run out of it to get it tuned first before playing with the Hades, because I got 3 tins and it was $100 from Airgun Depot. So anyway, when I get to shooting it, I'll let you know. All right, so the rain finally stopped, and I'm outside at my new place. I would say new, but it's about a year old that I've been here. I don't have a shooting bench, so I'm gonna make one, and I'll show you when I'm done, I guess. It's just that my camera doesn't have enough battery, and I need to charge it. And I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to watch me build something, because y'all don't watch that stuff, really. Okay, I'm gonna build a shooting bench. All right, now I've been out here working for, I don't know when I started, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and this is where we are. We got the sitting area here. I'm gonna have a bench come off this side, and over here we got our supports for the middle. And I think for right now, I'm going to be using a OSB board for the top, just so I can get some shooting done. Anyway, that's an update. it is done for now. I think I'm just going to use a chair to sit on instead of building benches for it. I'll build benches later. I ended up cutting off a few chunks off the front just to conserve a little OSB material, so I only use one sheet of OSB versus having to use two. And then under there I still got my beams in the middle, and I'll show you something else. And I can still lay down and shoot. Pow, pow, pow. All right, now I guess it's time to shoot and tune the 357. All right, so now I finally got everything set up. I got the Impact M3 357 rangefinder. I only have 2 magazines of pellets, one full mag and then another mag. So I'm gonna have to make all the shots count. My air tank, charger for the side scope or side shot, I can't remember, I think it's called side shot, and then a 50-yard target down there. All right, so we're gonna have to make our shots count. Like I said, I'm gonna film everything through the side shot. Let me get the chronograph turned on, which is the FX chrono radar. You don't know it, but I've been spending a lot of time. I had to weed eat and get everything set up. I had to build a target stand, which I'll show you in a second, and some other things. Right now we're not going for accuracy, we're going for consistent shots, but right now it should be shooting a higher feet per second, and I'm going to turn down the airflow valve adjustment until it changes, and once it changes then I know I've hit the threshold. So I don't know how many turns it's going to take. Hopefully I'll have enough projectiles to figure it out. Turn this up, you might be able to hear it.
928.
928. Let's do 1/2 a turn. See if that changes.
919. Last bullet.
It's not the last bullet, crazy. Let's do another 1/2 a turn.
861. Magazine empty.
I don't know what you're thinking here, magazine empty. I don't know what it's doing. All right, so half turns is dropping instantly. So there's a half turn back, and we're back at the top now.
926.
926.
930.
Seems pretty consistent. My plenum fills back up pretty quick, so I suppose that's good. I'll turn it down 1/4 a turn and see what that does. We're pretty consistent, 929, 930, 928, but I'll turn it down 1/4 turn to see what happens.
923.
923. All right.
926. 921.
That's not as consistent as when it was on the highest it could be. Turn it back up 1/4 turn and see what that does. I'll aim it at the other target now.
928. 926. Last bullet.
All right, so I'm almost at reg pressure now. 150, and then, or this one's supposed to be 150, the front one's 190, and we're still above 150. So I'll shoot one more.
923. Magazine empty.
The mag's not empty. I need to fix that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to fix it. But I need to fill back up with air. That's what I don't like about a power tune. I don't get the shot count out of it. biting flies are driving me insane. All right, so I think I turned it back up to max. I don't remember. And I was shooting a shot string. We're back up to 250 bar.
921.
See, it doesn't make sense to me. This gun is not that accurate. All right, so now that we found out that we're right in there where we want to be, let's turn down the macro or the macro wheel to half and see if that changes my pellet accuracy. Now we'll do a 3-shot group and see if my pellet accuracy is a little better. I'm gonna pick a little different spot to aim out there. I think I'm gonna aim at a dot on the board, and then I'm gonna aim for my pellet hole.
840.
I almost hit the dot. I'm just gonna keep aiming at the dot.
835.
I hit my dot. Maybe 840, 35 is gonna be more accurate for pellets.
844.
I got one hole down there. It's a little stretch, but I got one hole.
840.
Ooh, I don't know about that one. I don't think I pulled. The gun did go that way, but I don't think I pulled.
837.
Right through the same set of holes. I'm gonna aim at the one that pulled right and see if I can put one through that same hole.
842. Last bullet.
So turn the macro down. What was it? Micro adjustment and the macro's the big wheel. Okay, yeah, I turned the macro down to half and I'm putting them hole for hole with pellets. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm not gonna lie, especially because I've almost shot a whole mag already, and that means that I got one mag left. And what's insane to me is how big these pellets are. That's just 50-yard group ain't bad. I might have to move the target out to 100 and see what it does out there. Give me a second, I'll be back. Oh, all right. I set up a target at 100 yards with these pellets. Y'all won't believe the stuff I gotta go through. I gotta show you when I get done shooting, just to shoot these things. But I set up a target at 100 yards and I'm gonna test out these pellets, see what they do.
835. Magazine empty.
Yeah, you just so happen to be right this time. All right, don't even have a full mag. I think I messed up. I think I need to aim at the bottom one just in case it goes high. But it shouldn't. It should actually be low at this distance. Here, let me just turn that up to 100. And then I'll aim at the middle one and see what happens.
830. 828. 833.
Not too bad. My little guns shoot better.
830.
My 25 and my 22 shoot a lot tighter than this at 100.
830.
But you got to consider too, I haven't zeroed it. It's zeroed from the last tune I did. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this macro wheel up to 12 and see what that does. I'll aim at the top one now.
898.
Definitely hits harder. The hammer spring, that is.
898.
Well, I hit the same hole because that's where my staple was.
900. Magazine empty. 893.
It's a lot tighter groups when it's turned up.
893.
Oh, that one sailed way right. All right. Well, that went 893. What was that last string? Last 5. 898, 900, 893, 893. Getting close to that reg pressure again. Let's see if I can center punch that other one out there. Let's see here. Almost 1 full bar.
895.
The reason why I'm done is because I want to save just a couple of these rounds for myself here. All right, let's go take a look. I had to weed eat all this so I can get back in here to see this other target. And I had it a lot lower, but then I had to raise it up. Yes, this is Schedule 40 PVC pipe, my homemade stand. All right. So that's after I tuned it down. I was aiming for a speck right there. Or no, right here was a speck. And then I hit one below, one high, and I took the speck out, and then I sent another one through that hole. Then I aimed for the bullet hole over here, and that's at half power on the macro wheel. And this is full power micro, and this one's full power micro. But that's what it does at full power with pellets. I bet if you turned it down some more, you might be able to tighten them up even more yet. All right, now going to 100. And then all this, I just knocked it down with a piece of Schedule 40 PVC pipe, enough to where I can see the target through there. I'm gonna be covered in ticks and poison oak. All right, well, that's a pretty good little group. That's 100 yards, and got 1, 2, 3 in there, 1 here, or maybe there's only 2 in there, but I knocked my staple out, obviously. I don't know how, yeah, it looks like 2 of them. And then I had one sail way over here. I don't know what that was. It could have been a gust of wind, or it could have been the gun. And then this one is right away what I was shooting. The first one went, because I didn't make my adjustment, it went way down here. And then after the adjustment here, that's pretty good. 100 yards. I don't know, maybe the tune worked. I do have some Nielsen slugs, a whole bunch of them. I think they're 93 grain or 95 grain. 95 sounds more accurate. Nielsen's. Now that it's tuned and it can finally hold a group with the pellets, I'm gonna have to run these Nielsen's a little bit, but I'll post a video tomorrow probably. Maybe not tomorrow. I'll post a second follow-up video here shooting the Nielsen's to see if this tune is capable of grouping them, because I couldn't get, at 50 yards, I couldn't get more or better than a 4-inch group out of the Nielsen's. That's the whole reason I did the tune. But anyway, this is Everything Sportsman. Catch you next time.